Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to this daily check-in. Let's dive right in. I'm back home, you guessed it right. So this is gonna be a classic read. At the end I'll post some messages from my Hermit Tarot deck. So this is the talking cards, how we call them here. I haven't used them for a while, so why not? Let's do it. But first, the Quantum Oracle is going to give us a message for each of the twin collectives. And we'll start with the Divine Feminines. I'm glad to have you here, guys. Took a couple of days off from doing these reads. Honestly, mostly because I was kind of discouraged with YouTube not showing my videos to people last week, which happened a lot. And it's quite unfortunate because, you know, I had some pretty important breakthroughs and messages for people over there. Still not sure how it works and why it happened that way, but yeah, and you know, like at the end of the day, if I'm getting just couple of dozens of views on my videos, then it doesn't make sense for me to make those. I'd rather make more shorts, or I can focus on mindful bamboo content, right? I intend to start posting my TV show episodes directly on my channel. I don't know if I'm gonna do the full versions or I'm gonna do like the highlights and then I'll give a link to the full version, because I'm not sure when to put like an entire hour-long video there. But this could be a better use of my time, that's what I'm saying, because those topics are what's it called, evergreen. You know, they're always relevant, they're important. I definitely want them to be circulated to a wider audience. And at the end of the day, I'm striving to be a life coach, not to like most of the time, not necessarily a tarot reader. So even from that perspective, it doesn't make sense for me to invest so much time in tarot if that's not the main thing that I want to be doing. I do believe this is a powerful tool for personal growth, and I encourage anyone who has interest to learn tarot for yourself and be able to use it for your own journey. But it's not like end all be all, if you ask me. And yeah, I have used them with clients in the coaching experience and works really, really well. But it's a lot better if you already have that goal, if we framed it together, the scope of work and what are we trying to achieve, right? I've had people contact me about like with their questions, like kind of like the questions for the tarot reading, where they were asking things like, you know, I want to know if, you know, this, like somebody passed on, for example, if they're still with me, or I want to know if I'm gonna get back with this person, it's bothering me. And tarot isn't the best tool to answer those questions anyway, but it's like the main question that's circling in my head at that moment when I'm reading those questions or hearing them is, why do you care about that? Like, what's in it for you, for your life? And yeah, it may be like, oh, what do you mean, why don't I care? I mean, it could be my potential life partner. But the deeper question and the right question is, why is this relationship particularly bothering you so much? Why do you want to be with this person in particular, right? And let's walk from there. Let's develop that topic, right? Now we're talking. And yes, tarot can answer those questions, can provide introspection. But it's not really, and I'm not really doing readings, if you've been, you know, subscribed or following my channel, on the topics of like, let's, you know, do the future divination. Tarot is capturing, first of all, the energy of the current field, what's going on right now, is showing potential. And it's up to you, it's giving you food for thought. It's up to you how you use those energies. And that goes for any reader who's doing those readings for you. It's not set in stone, nothing is. Let me just correct this a little because it's bothering me. It's a little, yeah, there we go. It was that said, I'm happy to have you here. I hope you had a great time with full moon in Taurus on Friday. I did record my messages on Mindful Bamboo channel, which I have also provided. I think I provided a link. I'll double check because the energy is still pretty strong. So I do recommend checking those out if you haven't done so yet. But you can also just head to my Mindful Bamboo channel, and this will be the latest video there with timestamps. All right, so feminines, your yeah, was just talking about this, connected with this. The oracle concept for today, because this is a quantum oracle, is the dark thoughts. You know, and this is the consciousness, right? This is our coloring of the reality. That's what I'm hearing right away, right off the bat from with this. And I can talk for hours about it, which I'm not going to, and we'll see with the tarot part. We'll get some details on why, like, what does it mean exactly, right? What's the juice there? But I would just say the channeling that I'm getting right away is it's very easy to get lost in dark thoughts, and it's gonna be like a whirlwind that's gonna take you down easily if you don't stop that process, if you don't cut them off, if you don't ground back into the now. And I'm not saying this is a cheesy line, right? But it happens more often than we care to admit. And it's not just about love relationship. It's not just about your twin flame journey. It's generally in life, right? I mean, easily, especially if that triggers a deeper wound, it can go spiral down like really fast. So remember that whatever that thought is, like, regardless of the topic, it's a perception, it's a story, it's a story really that you're telling yourself. And it's not to criticize that this is somehow, not to diminish the importance of it, especially if it's been painful somehow, right? It's just to say that there's a different way to frame that. There's a deeper meaning, there's a higher meaning, right? And maybe you won't get it in one day. Put a pin on it, but keep working with that energy, keep unfolding, keep digging deeper. But it's important not to get stuck in the dark thoughts moment, right? Because that's what our brain does anyway. So a lot of times, especially until we heal to a certain extent, right, it's going to happen more often just because of the previous programming that we've received. And there's nothing you can do to prevent it completely. But it's about how you self-regulate, how you deal with that. And the more conscious, the more mindful you become, the easier it becomes for you to self-regulate and deal with those without it putting a stain on your field. Then, of course, it becomes a longer effect, long-term effect, and then it's going to take a lot more energy and effort to deal with that. Masculines, you have the family card. But again, with children, it could be about your children if you have them, that right now there's a certain part of the journey where connection to your children is important, where they can be your teachers. Think about that. Spending time with them, what are they talking about? What's their vision of the world, of the game, of you, of their peers? What's there that you can pick up for yourself and learn from it? For those who don't have children, this is, of course, connection to the inner child. And I would just say, whichever situation gives you a certain emotion, a very positive, especially a strong emotion, very positive, very negative, doesn't matter which one. And again, positive and negative is our coloring, right? But it shows the connection to the childhood, right? And how you perceive this experience. There's a direct connection between how you perceive your adult experience and what happened in your childhood, right? So if you already started doing inner child work, connecting with your inner child, this is a perfect opportunity. So it's like that low-hanging fruit, almost like, where you can, it's pointing you, it's Google Maps, pointing you directly to, like, giving you a pin to the location where you're supposed to go next. What can you work with if you want to find more freedom and want to experience less fear? All right, I'm using the steampunk today for the tarot. The Hanged Man. Yeah, you see, different perspective. I've already been talking enough about that, so I'm gonna move on, but you know, you can make this up. I'm just gonna add a few more clarifiers. We have the After Tarot deck for the clarifiers today. I'm so glad to be back to my decks again. Best part always. Well, one of the best parts is, of course, my setup, my backdrop, my candles and crystals, my lighting. I love this. I really start appreciating it on a different level when I don't have all this waiting for me, you know, because this is my permanent setup. So it's like, it's my spot, it's my place. And of course the decks. Five of Swords. Yeah, so where are you telling yourself a story that isn't really true? Or, you know, it's like that difference between the truth and a truth, right? It's a version of a truth that you have in front of you. Can you tell a story from a different character perspective? Can you look at it with different eyes now that time has passed? Do you see what was the point? What was the morale of the story? Feminines, you have King of Cups with Five of Cups. Yeah, this is about not just hiding your feelings and emotions. It's about understanding what caused the grief and the pain in the past, right? Why is it scary to show your emotions now? Why? What kind of belief, what kind of story makes you think that you can't really speak up about something that's disappointing you, right? There is a story there. I was actually thinking about something like that for myself today, because I do have one friendship where I still need to have one of those difficult conversations. And yeah, it's like I'm a lot better at detaching myself from the outcome, i.e. that I can speak my truth without worrying too much if a person is not gonna like it, is gonna snap, is gonna end the relationship, right? Like my truth is more important to me. I'm good at that part, but there's still that part of like, maybe it's not gonna sound reasonable to a person. I still have doubts there, right? So I'm working on that. And obviously it doesn't just come from thin air. I've had experiences in the past, even if it was like the childhood when I was actually dealing with my narcissistic mom, who didn't really have reasonable reactions to most scenarios anyway. But that's how my inner child remembers it, right? That there were a lot of cases when my behavior is somehow called out as inadequate, right? And so this time I'm still teaching myself to get rid of those limitations and to feel free and to speak up. Masculines, this is getting to be a long, that's what happens when I take a break. I'm sorry, guys. Masculines, you've got Nine of Swords clarified by Justice. Oof. Yeah, so some things are coming to light for you, Divine Masculine, something that's been bothering you a lot. Something that where you didn't, again, this is one of those storylines where you felt like that life is unfair. That something, no matter how hard you try, something is not working out for you, right? Or it may start off great, but then something happens and it doesn't. It can be a relationship, business partnership, anything really, creative project maybe, right? This is about you having hope and enthusiasm to move forward. And what I see for you here is that it's with this Justice, you're seeing what's the real reason for it. And it's not about being a victim, and it's not about putting blame on yourself or somebody else, right? Then we're going into the drama triangle, and we don't want to be in one. There's no way out, like healthy way out of there. But it's important to really see why things happen in a certain way, right? And you will see that. Yeah, and there will be some justice, for sure. But you may be surprised. That's what I'm hearing for you, Divine Masculine. Because maybe you're thinking, okay, that person, that's them. They kept mistreating me. They kept doing XYZ. They spoiled everything. So in your mind, like the first thing that comes to you may be that, you know, they will get... you know, there will be some pressure put on them, you know, something unfortunate will happen on their end. But you will see the deeper meaning, right, of what was the whole dynamic. And it's not as simple as it may seem, right? And then it will mean that there's, of course, karmic payout to both parties, to you and the other person, or whatever that energy is that you're dealing with. Hopefully a person. Yeah, additional question for today, the Fool and Six of Swords. Yeah, we all want a fresh start at this point, where things are a little easier, a little calmer, and we don't need to fight for our peace so hard, That's what I'm getting here. What do the feminines need to know about this? 6 of Wands, 4 of Cups. Stop procrastinating. Your victory is in your hands. And yes, you can create the reality that you want, but it has a direct connection to your thoughts and your actions. I know it's a bit of that masculine vibe that you're asked to step into, but we had a number of planetary transits recently that encourage you to do that anyway. So, you know, big time. And you can see it in a way where you're supported by planets to take that action, to make that call, to have that conversation. For masculines, we see another 4 of Cups. Wow, and the World. So also stop procrastinating, but it's about finishing what you have already started, right? Finding closure to some kind of old scenarios, right? Not just feeling sorry for yourself or not being angry at someone else who didn't do their job right? Maybe I did everything just as we agreed and they didn't. So whose fault is it anyway that the relationship didn't work out or our business didn't work out or whatever else, right? But this is for you to find closure for yourself, for your own sake. I do have an episode of my show, by the way, on this, about release, about closure. You can look for it. There's a playlist in the description box and you can find it there. If you don't really have those tools, those techniques, you can, I'm drilling down into the detail there. But before you can have that fresh start that's easier, where you don't have to fight, where you don't have to battle, you need to find closure for this. And part of it will be, of course, also understanding, right? Clarity on why things happen a certain way. Okay, let's get messages between the twins. First of all, from the feminines to the masculines. I really sped up my reading, but this is good. And please, please, please like my videos, subscribe, leave comments, and even if it's an emoji. First of all, I will appreciate seeing you in comments very much. You know, we'll know that you're there, that you care. And yeah, it helps with the rankings, with the channel performance, with the video performance. So especially if you enjoyed the video, please leave something, a like, a comment, share it with others, anything. Ooh, we got sex with you. That just fell out. Feminines are not very talkative today, from what I can see. But we're gonna get some more here. Now's not the time. So this is essentially 6 of Cups. Oh boy. 6 of Cups, 6 of Wands. That's what I would say. But anyway, yeah, going back to the message. So this actually fell out second. Now is not the time. So feminines do feel the pull, maybe on a new level. There is this vibe of a physical connection, right? And I don't necessarily mean just sex, actually, but in a, you know, tangible physical way. Like, what could you be doing together, you know, when you are in union, right? There is that image. There is something specific, not just in abstract way. Yeah, we will be helping the world, we will be raising children. Those are quite abstract notions. This is about something specific, like, I don't know, we'll be taking dance classes, we'll be making dinner together, something like that. And the feminines understand that it's not for now, it's, you know, the future vision, but this is more of an inspiration. And yeah, there is that sense of like, this is clearly a, you know, soul connection. This is so strong. This is like when we don't really need to, especially if for feminines who have had challenging relationships, and I think I can say on behalf of divine feminines that we all have had those, where you need to walk on eggshells or over explain or like do all this kind of back and forth with a person, where you like really do the work to agree on something or to work out how that union concept would work for you. Here it's easier, and there is that vision of like, you don't really need to debate that for a long time. You can just go and do stuff. Or, you know, with the dance class example, you can book that dance class and you know that your person will enjoy it. You don't need to triple check with them first and talk them into it. All right, what are the messages for masculines? All right, masculines are a bit more talkative today. I need more balance, and they're waiting for you. That fell out together, and then you hurt me, but that's okay. I guess this is the Nine of Swords that we actually saw in the reading. So maybe that first part where we had the Nine of Swords and the Justice, this is some kind of new understanding around the story, some kind of past with the feminine. And the masculines and the way they perceived that story, they felt hurt. Let's put it that way. Without, again, spending another 5 minutes on this, I'm just gonna say it's hurt them. And until now, they really were confident that they did the best they could. And maybe even beyond that, beyond what they would normally do, right? They made all the effort they could, and they were still hurt. They were somehow treated badly, poorly. I don't know. But yeah, now they understand that in this, I need more balance, by the way. That's what the Justice is for. Exactly the balance card, right? It represents Libra energy, the scales, right? And masculines understand that anxiety is not serving them, and it's not serving this connection. So they're working on finding more balance, and they know that you have your hands full with your mission and purpose. And I'm trying to find the words for it to sound nice and kind, but they are approaching this with kindness that they don't want to distract the feminine too much from everything that they are doing, on how they are developing, on how they are growing within their personal space. And they understand that maybe it would be good to talk about these past experiences that are misunderstood, but they don't want to distract the feminine. So that's where the divine comes in with this Justice card, where this clarity is going to come in as a download, right? Or it's going to be reflected through a sign of synchronicity, so that they understand now how to unfold it, how to untie it, and have closure with it. Okay, I hope this was good for you guys. I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for being here, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and leave your comments. I love you all.